I'm going to get all the shit out of the way first, I think, and then just praise games for the rest of the day. So
yeah, get the shit out of the way.
You know which game I'm talking about.
I know which game you're talking about.
Hideo Kojima's masterpiece,
Oh.
Death Stranding. Is that not the game you thought?
No, I forgot that it existed.
Yeah,
After the Game Awards.
It's hilarious. It was hilariously bad.
What do you mean? It's art.
No, it's not art. It's nonsense.
It's the first Strand type game.
Bollocks. It's all shit. Look, like, I appreciate the shit situation Kojima was in, but this game has done him and his studio no favours in any way, shape, or form.
Can you just give it to me and I'll play it?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll mail it to you. You can have that nonsense. I think I've played 7 or 8 hours, and it's equal. It's baffling. Like, this man, I imagine an office full of like 10 or 12 young developers who idolise Kojima, and then he goes, right, I need an option where you can make Norman Reedus have a shit. And then all of these young developers are like, oh, yeah, okay. And there's one guy in the back like, are you sure, Mr. Kojima? And he's like, yes! And he like puts on another French film and like starts beating off to Les Seudos. And that's how the entire development cycle went for this entire game. He's like, hey, I've got Jaztis in to play some music. And they're like, but our budget's really going up, sir. He's like, do you not want Jaztis in our game? And they're like, well, I mean, we need some more money for this. He goes, well, I don't know, fucking Monster Energy drink or something.
And whatever with Norman Reedus.
So, oh my god, okay. So the gameplay. Let's just start. I'll try and be as concise as I can. The gameplay is awful. It essentially is you walk from one place to another, and you're constantly nannied by loads of little meters, and you always have to either hold down the triggers to balance your character, like the ice cream minigame in Astral Chain. That is all the time, and that's the whole game. That is the whole game. And then sometimes you come into a place where there are invisible monsters you have to stealth past that you can't see, but you can sort of sense the direction. But there are sometimes multiple enemies, so you're like, oh, okay, I'm going to move away from it, and then you immediately move into another enemy. And I'm awful at stealth games anyway, and yet it's unbearable. It's unbearable. And then even then, when you get that stuff, because this is the first Hideo Kojima game I've played, so that's
very sad.
That is sad, isn't it? That I've probably got him at his worst. And then the story is oh my goodness gracious me. I pity the souls of anyone who makes YouTube videos deciphering the lore on this fucking thing, because it's just, I don't know, your mum's the president who's also got cancer, who
fucking falls out of a bed.
Oh my gosh. No, it's all artistic nonsense. He's watched too many shockingly fucking artistic films, but has no talent on writing his own. And it's like, oh, I appear out of nowhere, and there's also like bombs that have gone off if you get eaten by a thing, or like it's striking visuals with no substance behind it. And
you just don't get it.
No, because if there's Dead Man, who's Guillermo del Toro, but voiced by a different person, and then who's the other person? Like D. Grey Man or something? No, that's an anime.
Die Man and Die Hard.
Die Hard Man and Dead Man.
Hardman. Sorry,
yeah, that's it. And Norman Reedus is just playing Norman Reedus. He's just like, oh, I just don't want to do it, but he does it anyway because he might meet this, who's the old actress who Hideo Kojima has a fucking boner for. The women in this game are treated like. I mean, I'd have an injunction against Kojima. That's how bad this fucking. Like,
it's probably not.
Let's look at Les Seudos' ass for 8 hours.
It's probably not as bad as MGS4.
I'm sure it's not. But
MGS4 is like fucking hideous.
But thing is though, it is. I would play it because there are so many things in it that are so funny, like really unintentionally funny. Like right at the start, he's riding a motorcycle. You see Lacey being sexy
She has an umbrella.
in old people rain, because rain makes you old in this game.
Yes.
And he accidentally fucking plows into her, and it's meant to be like, what? Where is it? And I'm already laughing my head off at this. Then it has an extended scene where she eats like a grub that floats in midair, very sexually, and it really made me laugh.
Oh dear.
He pisses, and they collect his piss to make upgrades. He can piss in the overworld and make mushrooms where he's pissed.
And then people can rate your mushrooms up.
Yes, and you can. And when you shit, it shows an advert for Norman Reedus Ride, his like documentary about where he's riding around America on a motorcycle. What else is there? Oh yeah, so he's meant to be having this like confrontation with his mum. You sort of gather, who's also the president of the United States, who's also the head of the secret organization, who's also got cancer, and then she's like, please, you gotta love me, please, you gotta do this, please. And she crawls out of her bed, and he's like, no, don't touch me, I'm scared of people touching me. And then she falls out of the bed, all the fucking things fall out of her like skull, which are keeping her alive, and she like bleeds out on him, and everybody comes in the room, is like, what the fuck happened? Did you kill the fucking president? And he's like, ah, and then walks. God, it's so bad. And then you carry her corpse up a mountain and burn it.
Listen, it's all, you just don't understand it.
No,
it's about bridging people together. That's why it's called Bridges.
I also don't have a PSN online, so I don't get the benefit of like all the other people building bridges.
Kojima paid to have everyone have online for this game.
Is that so?
Yeah, it's so.
Oh, okay. I guess I just never got far enough to overcome. I mean, mate, I will play more of it because it's fucking fascinating, but it is shocking and boring.
It was very fun watching like pretentious reviewers like try and pretend.
Anyone who said they like this game, blacklist them. They don't know what the fuck they're talking about.
Lying.
They're lying. They're actually lying.
Like, I saw someone play it and they were like fucking doing bullshit the entire time, and at the end of the session they were like, wow, great. I was like, what?
Yeah.
You did nothing.
The thing is he he needs reining in by an editor. He's probably got some interesting ideas. He just needs someone to craft them into solid ideas.
He does have interesting ideas, and he ran out of them after Metal Gear Solid 3. Am I right, fellas?
Oh, that makes sense to someone.
A lot of people, actually. You're in the
I know I am. God, I don't know. Like, it's fascinating. And I saw a tweet today where he's like working on my new idea. He's like got like a film on in the background, and he's like at his like desk with loads of paraphernalia, and I'm like, he announced that the studio's making films, and I'm like, that's all he's ever wanted to do.
Yeah.
And they're not going to be good films.
They're not. Because he's a fucking madman.
He's a hack fraud. No.
He is kind of a hack fraud.
He is kind of a hack fraud.
Unfortunately, we need people like him. It's just unfortunate that he is that guy.
I'm glad that he exists and he's able to do what he did. You know? I'm glad that he's able to make a game like this. But not all of his experiments will succeed.
Like this one.
Yes, it did not succeed. It's awful. And
even Jeff Keighley
couldn't fucking give him an award. It was nominated for everything. It was nominated for like best soundtrack, and it's like, well, when you pay, that's nonsense. When you pay bands to license the songs to it, that's not the. Okay, whatever, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Bad game.
Let's move on to 4 games that we really like.
No, I've still got 2 games that you didn't play.
Oh, okay, go for it.
Ring Fit Adventure.
Oh my god.
Ring Fit Adventure for the Switch. I bought it because I wanted to do some exercise. I started playing it, I did some exercise. I was like, wow, I can feel the burn. This is real exercise. It's not just like fucking Wii balance board, fucking stand on it and then stand off. Like you actually do exercise. And it's a big RPG adventure. I stopped playing it for 1 day, and that 1 day turned into 2 months.
Okay. But you enjoyed it though?
No, it does. Yeah, it does. It does do good exercises, and there's surprising versatility with the ring thing. Apparently, it's not good for strength training, but it's good for like just general fitness.
That's fine.
There's like a lot of people fucking severely injured their shoulder doing one particular exercise with it. So be careful. Yeah, the biggest problem with it is that a lot of it's relying on you being in the exactly correct posture. And since you can't fucking see yourself, you don't. A lot of the time, it feels like you're not doing it right. So there's that. But I mean, those results. There's one exercise that really hurts though. The rowing, where you have to like push the ring into your abs, and then like rotate the upper body via your hips, and you just do that for fucking like 10 minutes.
That's a sideways crunch, and it's like unbearably painful.
It is unbearably fucking painful. That's one of the reasons I did it, because I kept making me row.
And you haven't exercised since you came out of winter.
Yeah, that's what I learned. I thought that like I had like no upper body, but apparently I have no abs.
Body.
I have no body. No, but it does do results. The first time I booted up, there's like mini games, and I did one of those, and I got X amount of fucking reps, whatever. And then a few weeks later, I showed my housemate, and I was like, "Oh, I'll do this again." And I managed to beat the score, even though I hadn't played it much in the interim. So it definitely does something. So if you're looking to exercise without leaving the house, and get this, I guess.
When you said you bought Ring Fit Adventure, when it's almost the same day that I bought Death Stranding.
Yeah.
I thought I'd entered a parallel universe.
Yeah, it must have been very strange for you.
I actually thought I died or was on cocaine or something because. But interesting. Yeah. I mean, it's interesting to hear your perspective on it, and I've heard good things about the game. Weirdly, so. Yeah,
no, it's a surprising amount of exercise, and there's a surprising amount of content to keep you playing as like a single player experience.
And that's that Nintendo polish, baby.
Yeah, I don't actually know who the devs are. I don't think it's a fucking R&D one or whatever. I assume it's some separate second party thing. But yeah, good if you want to exercise without leaving your home. As I said, you can do worse than this.
Okay.
Shall I talk about Bumbo before we get into the big ones?
Go for it.
So Bumbo, I played this recently, and I already knew before playing it that I liked the gameplay because I watched someone play it. You haven't played it.
I haven't yet, but I definitely will.
Do you know what the game is?
I saw the trailer, but I didn't really explain too much. As far as I know, it's sort of like Mega Man Battle Network, mixed with a match 3 game, mixed with an RPG.
It's so you have a match 4 tile game. That's part 1. So depending on which colours you line up, you get mana of that type, and use that mana to do spells to attack people. Is that in a Binding of Isaac style roguelike structure? The core gameplay is very, very, very addictive, as you would expect from an Isaac thing. I mean, it's not fair to compare it to Isaac because it's like so different. It's just structurally, similar, and it's in the same universe.
Sure.
Well,
I mean, it's Bumbo, who's an item in, Binding of Isaac.
Yeah. But if you actually care about Isaac spoilers, then cover your 12-year-old ears, you fucking child. Stop listening to this. But it's...
What, me? Actually me?
The game... No, I mean, the 12-year-olds listening to this. My fans will be over it.
Okay.
Demanding I cover a song from it. Good music, by the way. But it's cardboard, right? And in the end, it's revealed that it's Isaac playing with cardboard.
Oh, cool.
Then his mum comes in, it's like... He's never coming back. I thought I threw this shit away. And he's like, no, Mum, no. So, yeah, there's that Isaac stuff. But, yeah, the gameplay is really good. Really addictive. Genuinely addicting. I've been playing it for like 30 hours over the last week so far.
Oh, my goodness.
However, I cannot recommend it in its current state because it's buggy as fuck.
Oh, no.
It soft locks all the time. Just bugs, things getting hit when they shouldn't, things taking their turn when they shouldn't, you randomly losing your turn.
I'm sure they'll fix it, because I think the same happened with Binding of Isaac when it first came out.
Maybe it did, I can't remember that far back. But there hasn't been an update in over a month.
Has it been out for a month?
It's been out for over a month, yeah.
Oh my god.
And it's very unbalanced. it feels like, so in Isaac there were runs where like you didn't get the overpowered stuff, but you can eke through by your own skill. This one, it feels like you're either OP as fuck or you have a miserable time and you fucking die, and there's nothing in between.
Interesting. I mean, I will play this, and I'm excited to play it, but
yeah, it's an inherently good idea, and it's, I guess, well designed in a sense, but it's just.
I wonder if there'll be a rebirth thing.
Well, it's not Nicholas, thank God.
Oh, okay, good.
It's actually him and another guy. But yeah, I'm guessing that's why updates are slow, because it's literally 2 people that made it. But yeah, very good music, obviously.
Was it Darren again?
No,
Darren
not Dan. No, they haven't been in contact since Binding of Isaac 1. It's Ridiculon again. And there's a remix of a couple of songs from Rebirth, which are better than the original songs. So check it out.
Good.
Don't buy the game. Don't buy the game until it's fixed. Don't give him. Don't. This isn't acceptable. I don't know. I just got addicted to it.
How much is it on Steam?
It's on sale right now, but don't buy it. It's like £7 now.
Is it £7? Is that it?
Yeah.
I mean, you know, I mean.
No, £10 full price or whatever, or £12 full price.
That's still pretty good for what
other
games have been.
All right, let me explain. You can't quit out of a run.
No, I'm okay. I will wait until it's like not.
It's missing so many
unplayable normal game. Like apparently an options menu got patched in quite recently.
Yeah, you don't have an options menu. The music balancing doesn't work, so the credits is max volume regardless of how low you put it. There's no. You can't go in the options from a run. You can't, like, once you press new game and you select a character, you can't go back to the main menu or something. So you end up closing the game a lot. This is missing such basic fundamental features that every game should have. Like
that's weird. That is so weird. Like, they've done the good gameplay to start with, and then needed like another week to put in very basic features.
If it was early access, I'd be like, yeah, go for it, buy it. But it's not, and that's not acceptable. Also, you have to use the achievements to figure out how far you've progressed, which is fucking dumb. But
I mean,
buy it later.
It's interesting.
Very like good idea, good game. Bad right now. Do not buy.
Okay. I will play it in the new year in about February, I think.
Yeah, that seems like a good time to let them sort it out.
Okay. So we've got.
Start from lowest quality.
Okay, so I've got 4 games left to talk about.
I have 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay.
I think.
Okay, let's talk about a game that we played, Fire Emblem.
Fire Emblem. 3 houses.
Now, this is such an interesting game to me. Like, this is like, because usually Otis goes, oh, I've seen this cool game you might like. Here, have a try. And I'm like, oh, okay. And I play it, and I'm like, this is my life now. Like, Slay the Spire, he sort of offhandedly went, you might like this game. I played it, and it developed into part of my brain. Whereas Fire Emblem is like the series that I've always played, and been like, you should play this game. And Otis has sort of tried to play Awakening. He sort of liked it, but it's like, not really clicked.
Slight revisionist history there.
No, but it's not like you've been into Fire Emblem.
Yeah, Fire Emblem Heroes got me into it.
Okay,
actually,
like the phone game.
No, genuinely. Yeah, the mobile game got me into it. Then I tried Awakening, but couldn't get into it.
Okay, I mean, I think Awakening is like wonderful. It saved the series. It's amazing. Then Fates or whatever came out, and it was sort of like, it's good ideas, but not great. Then Three Houses comes out, and boy howdy, did that somehow shake the series up again.
Interesting story in a Fire Emblem.
Nonsense. It's not at that. Not at that. It's and God. Okay, let's just start in that you choose a house in like a Harry Potter school, and you have 3 different storylines you can follow, and all different characters that interact with the main hero and yourself.
Yes.
And what's the best scene I've ever seen in Fire Emblem ever is the opening where there's silence and it introduces every single character and their personality and just bits about their story. It all in silence, and you can see who's with which character. And I think that's so genius, because usually it goes, oh, okay, you get the old guy to start with and some other one else, and then the main hero. And then each map, someone will pop in, you'll be like, oh, I'll join your team, you know, and that's how it goes. But in this, it's like, no, these are the guys you know to start with, and you all form, and because of that, you form much more of an attachment to them. They become a much more integral part of your team. And you spend time developing specifically everyone, and it's not like, oh, this person's come in, I might as well swap those out for this person now because I want to see what they're like. It's like, okay, I know what everyone's like, and even then, it's designed so well that you basically don't recruit anyone. I mean, not for me, I didn't recruit anyone to start with because I didn't understand how to do.
First playthrough, I didn't recruit anyone, except Shinji.
And then on the second time, I recruited everyone. And it's basically designed to do that, and it feels like a fresh game each time, which is great because, I mean, I played Claude first, who's best boy, and then Dimitri, who basically have a very similar story.
Yeah, I heard that.
And structure. But because I didn't have many people to start with, it felt like a family in Claude's game, and then an army in the second game, where I could do a lot more fun stuff. And so it felt fresh to me. I still haven't played Edelgard's, who's apparently like the bit where the story's way different. So,
well, I've only completed Edelgard. So the thing that makes the game interesting is that you've got 3. Well, you actually got 4 different routes. Mm-hmm. Three routes you pick from the start, and then one that can branch off to a 4th one.
Yes.
But the very interesting thing is that it's all about different perspectives on the same event and how that can fundamentally change like your destiny. That's the theme of the thing, right? Sure. Whoever Byleth chooses to help ends up being the good guy and everyone else is demonized.
Yes.
And it's so interesting because you get so swept up the first playthrough going like, yes, this is, I believe in the fucking Black Eagles, we need to fucking take down this fucking church.
And I mean, on my perspective, when I played with Claude, I was like, Edelgard is literally Hitler. She's actually Hitler, and she's literally killing people. And Claude is like the nicest, coolest guy who is anti-racism. And then it's like Dimitri is like, everything bad has happened to black people, basically, and I need to stop this from happening again. Oh, Edelgard's also a Nazi. But she has crazy. But she has more like depth because she is related to Dimitri. And there's like a personal bond between them two, and so it's a little bit more difficult. And so the twist with that character makes it's a little bit deeper and more meaningful.
Yeah, especially because if you get A rank social with Edelgard, she says, "Oh, we're close now. You can call me L." And it's like, "Oh, we're broken through. You're finally like a person to me."
Yeah.
Then the final cutscene, or one of the final cutscenes, whatever. Obviously, spoiler, big spoiler, everyone.
Should I close my ears?
You still want to go into Edelgard completely fresh, do you?
Yeah, I actually do.
Oh, really? Oh, well...
No, okay, just say it, it's fine. I kind of get that she's not a Hitler.
Well, okay, so you beat Dimitri's army, obviously. Yes. And then you're confronting Edelgard and Dimitri confront each other. And she's like, why do you fucking do you not see that the church is evil? Why do you have to make this war continue? Like, if you just let us get to the church, then we can bring peace to everyone. And then he's like, fuck you fucking bitch. And then, not exactly like that. But essentially, fuck, what does he say? He says like, regardless, the point is you know that she's called L to her friends and family. And then like right before she kills him, he says, why the fuck have you done this, L? And it's like, oh no.
Yeah.
And then
Good.
you told me about the family connection. It's like it really hurts.
Good. It's
you really get to, you genuinely feel for the characters in the route that you choose.
That is the shockingest thing to me in Fire Emblem. I was never expecting that to be the case.
Yeah, I liked a lot of the characters.
I liked a lot of the characters as well. Like,
yeah.
This was also like, this might be Game of the Year. This was like above for Devil May Cry for me.
Yeah, when I played it, I was like, this is actually I'm very surprised by how interesting this is. However, then I went online and read what other Fire Emblem fans like, and I don't like it anymore.
Other Fire Emblem fans, let's just say there's a reason they had the sauna.
Yeah, it's literally just like, hey guys, I kind of wanted Marianne to have her hair down, so I did this edit, and it gets like 2,000 upvotes, and it's like, I'm fucking beating off to this right now. Like, what?
Yeah.
Who are you?
Yeah, I know. He's like 15-year-old girls in a fucking school. It's like, oh no.
Oh, the time skip is one of the best things that you can do in Fire Emblem.
It's so good.
Because like you take the character development as granted in a Fire Emblem game. It's like, oh, you think they're going to be this, but then it turns out they're a bit more nuanced, and that's the same for everyone. But just having a time skip makes you it rewards you with development off screen. You know, like it's like instant gratification.
Sure.
And they all look really cool.
Oh, they change the designs in cool ways, and you get to find out again what they did, because you know what they are as characters and how they dealt with the situation.
Yeah,
it's great.
Yeah,
and even then, the battle system's fantastic, like usual. I mean, they got rid of a lot of the weapon triangles and stuff.
Yeah, everyone was concerned about that at first, but it turned out
it works fine.
Decently.
I mean, there's a lot of like stuff which is, I reckon they can improve it still a little bit even more and add some more complexity to it. I reckon they could in another game.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
It's the thing that really works is the Persona-like school which you walk around and interact with the players.
The problem is when you're replaying as different. Like a vast majority of the game is going to be exactly the same.
Yes,
but you haven't played it since, but they've changed the renown system.
Oh, really? Okay, good.
So that you get a fuck ton if you do New Game Plus, so you can just like level up stuff really easily.
So I got a load on my Dimitri run, and upgraded lots, but it wasn't enough for me, if you know what I mean. Like, it was quite a lot to like improve on, but yeah, I mean. I will play it again. I really liked Fire Emblem. The DLC, I'm a bit like, oh no, don't, I've bought DLC twice before and been burned twice. It's usually awful. It's usually just fan service. So, but I don't know. This game might be different because it's wonderful. It's wonderful.
Yeah, as I said, the interesting thing story-wise is like the different perspectives and how you can like sort of get swept up in one and not realize the full picture until you play all of it. And that's also and that's why going online sucks, because everyone's just arguing like, no, Edelgard is objectively evil, and it's like, no, the point is that if you work for Edelgard, you're doing the right thing in that timeline. But,
this isn't Griffith did nothing wrong. This is this is an actual. The point of the story is like almost the unreliable narrator.
Yeah, essentially.
Yeah.
So very surprisingly good. I recommend it.
And also, God Shattering Star. You're right, Otis. Once again,
I am right.
It is the best thing ever.
It's the fucking best.
So good.
It's so good.
It makes me cry.
It's playing right now in the background, probably.
I will make sure it's slowly playing in the background. Yeah.
Good soundtrack in general.
Very good soundtrack. Okay, shall we move? Okay, you should do another couple games.
No, that's all the ones that we haven't played except for my special one.
Oh,
so we'll do.
Okay, then I'll talk about the one game that I played, which is my special one. Then.
Oh yeah, sure.
Yes. So I played Bug Fables, which it came out very late in the year, and it was essentially a Kickstarter Paper Mario. I was sort of interested in it on the fringes. There's no reviews for it, basically. Nobody's talking about this. The subreddit's got like 100 people. Really?
Yeah.
I didn't see that. It's wonderful. It would... God, my God, it's... where to begin? It's everything I've wanted Nintendo to make for the last 10, 15 years. It's so perfect. There's not a thing wrong with it. I made a big video on how amazing it is, so watch that. I don't even want to talk too much about it, but this studio, I've not seen too much that they've done but they do loads of smart decisions in that Mario is obviously not the character. They have all the party introduced straight away, and then that means you can create a bond with the characters and how they interact with things. The mechanics work perfectly. The story is interesting. It's all from a bug's perspective, and the final area is you go into like a human kitchen. And that's the final bit of the game. Like, it doesn't get any more grander. It's still just a bugs in a backyard. Like, but there's it's so good. And this would have been my game of the year if it wasn't for two other games. So this easily would have been game of the year. It would have been game of the year last year, probably. That's how good it is. But
sounds like a game for Paper Mario fans.
It's exactly what you'd want. If you like Paper Mario Thousand Year Door, this is it for you. This is the one.
Well, specifically, if you like Thousand Year Door and hated Color Splash and Sticker stuff.
Especially. It's almost like they made this game for me. That's how good it is. They made this game for me, I'm sure.
Yeah, specifically.
Super Paper Mario, like, is fun and all, but it's like a different game. Whereas this is like... Play Bug Fables. Give them your fucking money. It's coming to Switch in February. Give them your money. That's
there you go.
All I have to say about it. Do you want to talk about Disco? Much?
Well, I haven't finished it. So, Disco Elysium.
It's my second favourite game this year. It's very smart. It's very smart. I can't believe this was made with the amount of branching paths and branching ideas.
I'm happy that it's getting the attention it deserves.
Yes.
I'm also happy that they are using their attention to shout out other indie games.
Yes.
And they seem like very cool guys. The developers seem like the kind of people that I would want to hang out with.
Yes, I agree.
If I didn't hang out with you, unfortunately.
Yeah, what a shame that is. They seem very well educated on politics and different points of view.
Yeah,
and they integrate internalizing thoughts. Like, you can be a crazy racist, but it works with the story. And it feels like a proper D&D campaign written by a very well learned person.
Yeah, it's like a Black Mirror of our current world, I would say. You can instantly see how everything in the world relates to, our current situation.
100%.
And it's like the only game really that talks about politics that I can think of without going like, the communists, you need to shoot them.
Yes, I mean it is very much like racism's bad, but you can still be racist.
And then you've got like a fucking black guy that's positing fucking advanced race theory.
Yeah,
and, like, is well into the whole cranial measurements and all that sort of stuff. It's so interesting in the way that your personality traits are stats and how they can sort of fill in gaps in the conversations.
And like the story changes based on who you play as, like, and how you react to it. Like,
yeah, that's another thing. Like, it's a role-playing game where you don't really have exactly the options you'd expect, but you can still have such a nuanced character. Like, I would say my character is, he's obviously an amnesiac, but the way I played him was that he's so racked with guilt, about not being able to like be useful in a practical way. But there's still something. He's like a genius cop underneath it all.
Sure.
And you can play a character in such like a very specifically nuanced way like that, rather than just say like, I'm a guy that punches people.
Oh yeah, my guy was completely remorseful, but also really over and flamboyant in a lot of ways.
Exactly, and that's a key difference. Like, mine wasn't flamboyant at all.
Yeah.
Just feeling sorry for himself all the time.
And did you do the karaoke?
Not yet.
It's the best moment in any video game ever. I don't want to spoil it for you. Let's just say there's two outcomes of a karaoke session.
There's always two outcomes.
And I got the outcome which is clearly better. And they
I'm assuming that means you failed a roll.
Yes. And they commit to it for 2.5 minutes. And it's
that's the best thing.
Very funny.
You can't fail in this game. Every fail state is just the continuation of the story, and it doesn't feel like you're losing out.
I failed in two critical moments of like, I was like, there's no way this is not going to be a fail state, but it wasn't a fail state. It just completely changed the story.
Yeah. Have you failed the have you seen what happens if you fail the roll right near the start? There's two really funny ones.
Oh, so you can't even see a face or something if you fail to look in the mirror.
Oh no, there's that. You can literally die in that room without leaving.
Yes,
but
you
there's
get a
one,
heart attack. Yeah.
If you're talking to Miss Orange's outside the room, there's a roll that says, say that you want her physically, right?
Mm.
And if you fail that roll, then he says, "I want to make fuck with you." and then instead of her going like, "Oh, what the fuck," slaps you and you lose health or anything, she's just like, "Wait, what did you say?" And then you're like embarrassed about it and saying, "What? I didn't say anything." It's like, "No, what did you say?" He said, "I want to make fuck with you," and it's like, "Oh, that's funny."
That's really good.
Funny. And then there's one right underneath when you're paying Gart the rent or like talking about the damages and stuff. You can choose to run away stealthily. If you fail the roll, you run towards the door, spin around, jump into the air, put both middle fingers up, and crash into the woman in the wheelchair. So you want to fail rolls. More than any game. You just do roll with it.
Some amazing stuff comes from it. I would love to play it again in a complete different way.
Because you can just replay it and do so many different things. I imagine
it's a wonderful game. I'd love
one
to
of
see
the best written games.
It is easily. I'd love to see the game, the chalkboard that they designed all the paths on. I bet it's incredibly massive.
Yeah, just see like one of those graphs that shows all of the different branches.
Yeah, it looks like Charlie Day and his conspiracy theories.
Oh yeah, sure.
So that would have been Game of the Year for me, but it's not. It's second Game of the Year.